Hi guys, we are filming a question and answer video right now about lifestyle here in Cabo with Michael Baldwin, luxury real estate expert, and he has the Lifestyle in Cabo Instagram account and website since 2020. And I have a travel blog too. My name is Carlos ZATCH. I'm a travel blogger and content creator. I live here in Cabo too and in Mexico City, and I love Cabo. He's from Texas and I'm from Mazatlan, Mexico. So Michael, what inspired you to start with the journey of Lifestyle in Cabo blog and documenting everything around the area?
It's a pretty funny story, and you're not going to believe the answer, but it is true. It all started when I got COVID. And so when I got COVID, of course, everything was shut down here in Cabo, and I think it was about October of 2020 or whatever. And so I was quarantined for 14 days in our home, not this home, but our other home. And I'm like a caged animal, because I'm always moving, and yes, right. So what is somebody going to do if you're stuck in your home for 14 days? Well, I stumbled onto YouTube and I started watching different videos, and I said, well, this is a great medium. It's a way to reach people that I wouldn't otherwise be able to reach. And so when I came out of my 14-day quarantine, I started with the team. We bought the equipment. We started moving forward. We hired some people to help us, and that's how it all started. So it's funny because when you look back on something as horrible an event as COVID was, there's something good that can come out of it.
Yes, many things came from the COVID situation and everything.
No, it was a transformation for a lot of people, and different people managed it differently, and that's how I got through it, and that's how I came out the other end. You weren't expecting that, right?
In 2020, right? We are talking about 4 years ago.
Well, it's shocking if you're speaking about like social media and what comes from that. We reach a pretty big audience, and I'm always shocked at who's watching. You often, when you're doing this and you're putting all the time, effort, resources into what we do and what you do as well, there's always this nagging thing in the back of your mind. Is anybody out there? Is anybody listening? Am I reaching an audience? Right?
You get surprised.
Right, exactly. I get probably, maybe not a perhaps qualified lead every day, but I get inquiries of all things. People want to come to work for me. People want to ask questions about real estate, to your point, and we would appreciate anybody that wants to ask a question to you or to me, that just log on and ask, and we'll be happy to answer.
So you combine it with the real estate is your main sector that you domain, as you previously told me in another video. I think it's really interesting because I'm a travel blogger when I write. And one interesting thing about me is I want to showcase my audience not only to places to travel, but I will love to share where they can buy a house, where they can find luxury rental. Here in Cabo, we have many of them, so I'm glad to meet you. You are an expert, and maybe everyone can follow him in Del Mar. Del Mar is the main account. And also with real estate, the luxury real estate, what do you consider are the main reasons to invest here in Cabo? I mean, for foreign people who wants to invest here, what do you think are the main points to consider?
Well, our tagline is Lifestyle in Cabo, and I will answer that. It's all about lifestyle. I mean, the real estate is really kind of a second or third. The house is really the last thing. People first have to come to Cabo. They have to fall in love with Cabo, just like you did and I did. And you have to see yourself being able to live here. And I think a lot of people just don't think it's possible because it's a resort destination and it's a vacation to most people. And you never think, well, I could actually live here. And so I think step one in the whole, I mean, real estate, we can talk about houses all day long, but I think it starts with an intent of wanting to be part of a community of people that are pretty extraordinary. I mean, not only the people the people that live here, but the people that come here. It's my favorite part. People, it's all about people. It's all about people. I mean, a house is just where you live and where you sleep, but a community is where you know, grow and get inspired. And I think that iron sharpens iron, and I think that the type of people that come here are a unique set of people, just like you've moved here. There's a lot of interesting, and they're artists, they're titans of industry, they're, you know, people, all walks of life end up here, but we all end up here, and we're all part of this community. So I would say the number one thing people have to do is just come. You know,
Just
that's step
come
one.
and
Right.
enjoy our lovely food, our lovely backgrounds, everything we have to do here in Cabo. We have everything.
Well, I would say, to me, and I mentioned people, but it's also culture. I
Culture.
mean, it's your culture as a Mexican is what makes this the best place in the world. I mean, there's a lot of places that have great weather. There's a lot of places that have a great beach. There's a lot of places that have even great food. But there are no other places other than Mexico that have a people that are warm,
Warm.
intelligent, artistic, entrepreneurial. You know, your people, which like I say, I want to be Mexican, so because the culture is really what you just fall in love with.
Yeah, definitely. We have a really good community here in Cabo. I like that. What personal experiences or aspects of your daily life do you think will resonate more with the potential buyers? I mean, do you say, what are your daily activities here in Cabo that you recommend if you are living here? Having a community, but golf, what are the most?
Well, there's a whole litany of them. There's certain ones that I am attracted to personally and do myself, but I think that the depth of experiences that you can do in Cabo is also unique to its location. You know, we have, you know, the desert's magnificent. The beaches are magnificent. The sea life here is, you know, the whales, you know, golf,
Surf. Do you
surf.
surf?
I have tried. I don't. I've tried,
I
but I love
tried.
the water. I just want to be in the water.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, swimming and just being part of nature. That's really what attracts me, and that's what I spend my day doing. Is just I want to be outside. You
Vibing
know,
outside. That's right. That's right. You
that's
don't
what
want.
happened. I'm from Houston, as you may have known, and in Houston, there's no quality of life. It's a great place to do business, but it's very hot and humid, and you are captured by the air conditioning indoors. And so
Indoors.
here,
Oh.
it's just the opposite. You know,
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, I'm out the front door, and I'm pretty much outside all day long, whether
Running.
it's working, running, boating, fishing, you know, you just go down golfing, all the things that are available. But I think that you just have to kind of crack the code. When somebody comes as a visitor, you know, they often just go to their resort and lay by the pool and eat great food and drink great margaritas. Uh, but they need to get out of off property and
Yeah.
really experience the true nature of Cabo. And I think you mentioned there's a lot of artists in this town. This
A
is a
lot.
very big, and art is expressioned in a lot of different ways. Food is one. I mean, I would say the food here and the talented chefs are some of the best in the world. And so Mexican wine, I love Mexican wine. I love tequila, you know, so everything Mexican I'm all about.
Yeah, it is all about getting out here in Cabo. You don't want to be indoor. Yeah, outside is perfect, and the food, everything. What is your favorite restaurant here in Cabo? Your favorite?
Well, my number one favorite is Seared Restaurant at the one and only Palmia Hotel. It's a steakhouse. Um, I, Stephanie and I got married at the one and only, so we love the one and only. We love the people there, And so we feel right at home. And so not only is it's a John George, he's the chef. It's not only a great restaurant, but it's this wait staff and the servers and the sommelier, and we love to go down there early, sit at the bar, have a martini before dinner, yeah, and chat with the people that work there, and we've just become friends with a lot of those people, and so we feel right at home.
I have to try it. I never been to the one and only, but we will try it. I like the Nixon around here is really delicious. They have one in Cabo too. It's one of the best for sushi and everything.
Well, you're the blogger. I mean, you must know all the good spots. What's your favorite? What's your number one favorite?
Currently, my favorite restaurant here in Cabo is the Sunken Bar at the Cape for some drinks. It's a brand new bar.
I was gonna say, I've never heard of this place.
Never heard. It's at the Cape Hotel.
Oh, I love the
Cape. I like
Cape.
to go there and
great vibe.
And for Sundays, the brunch at the ZATCH at the Cape. Have you ever been to the?
I have not. So those are two places I'm going to put on my list immediately.
Let's go. Let's go one Sunday. It's really good. It's really good because you can enjoy the view. It's amazing, and you can have a brunch with Bloody Mary, margarita, everything that you want. And I like the vibe.
Well, I love that hotel. You're right. That hotel has one of the best. It's a surfer vibe. Yeah. So it's very casual, fit people, young. It's very vibrant. There's nothing I don't love about that hotel.
About the hotel. Yes, we have really good food here in Cabo. And
have you tried Tale?
Tale at Montage?
Uh-huh.
Wow, it's amazing.
I agree.
Asian, Thai food.
Thai food,
wow.
yeah.
It's to die for.
Chef Mark there is extraordinary. And I love how they've blended a super casual, it's just picnic tables and a food truck.
Yes, it's
but
a
it's
food
a
truck.
very, very elegant cuisine.
Yeah, and cuisine is really good. That's right.
Love that place.
We should go one day. I love the Asian
You're making
food.
Me hungry. Sitting here talking about great food, I'm starting to get hungry.
I'm starving. Thank you for sharing this really good special places here and the community. I think community is really important for choosing the right home. I think is one. In my young experience, I'm 25 years old. In my experience, I think community is one of the best things because you want to be in a good environment. Environment is really a big part of your daily life. The environment is you. So I think it's really good to consider. Here in Del Mar, I can breathe good environment. So.
Well, Palmilla is a special place, and there's a lot of reasons why. Rod Rodriguez, which was the son of a Mexican president, chose the site where the Palmilla Hotel was built, and it was built in 1957. And so it was only 15 rooms, and so they used to have a little dirt airstrip, and people would fly down here from Los Angeles, and they would come, and it was just like they would entertain in their personal home. And so that history that the Palmilla has, and this community, because it was chosen back in 57, they chose the best piece of property in all the Southern Baja. I mean, we have one of the only 4 swimmable beaches in town are here. The Palmilla Beach is spectacular. It's very special, and we're the closest to the airport. We're closest to San Jose, and I would argue that it's one of the older communities, but it's grown organically over time, and so it's almost like a little town. There's 20 restaurants you can go to by golf cart just inside. So I'm getting kind of lazy, and I don't necessarily like to leave the neighborhood. There's so many different choices that you can dine, and they're all super special. And so that's part of the community is what activities are you going to do outside? You got to have a place to eat, you got a place to work out, you got to have a place to swim on the beach. You have to have all those things. So it's some of all parts.
Love it. It's really amazing. Also to have your meetings with other people here is really great. As we met previously at the Cream Cafe.
It's a great spot. Great breakfast spot.
It's really great there. It's one of my favorites. And Michael, for young buyers looking to invest, what do you think are the most important pieces of advice?
Well, I think that whether you're young or old, I think the best piece of advice is to to buy in a location that's going to last, that's going to go the distance. And so, you know, in the US, there's a saying, you know, the location, location, location is what you want to look for when you buy real estate. And so, you know, that's why I settled here in Palmilla, because to me, it's the best location. And what I tell young, old, but particularly young people that are new is get in the community at whatever level you can afford. In other words, there's a broad bandwidth of product that you can choose from here in Palmilla, and the prices, they pretty much start at about, today, at about $1.5 million. Yeah, and so, but that investment today is going to last the time, and it will enable you to move up, because it won't, you know, your first house is not your last house.
No,
you know, it's just the beginning.
You can sell.
But you want to make sure that you buy in a quality location that has, you know, a lasting value, that when you are able and ready to move up, that you can transact. You can sell what you have at a premium and move up to the next level. So I would say, you know, anything wherever you can afford is to buy. Enter where you can afford, and it will be of a very lasting value.
That's a good thing, because my mom told me, like, the house that you buy first is not your house for all your life. You always want to move on.
But don't wait. Don't wait so long. You have to start. You know, the Chinese saying is a journey starts with a single step.
One single step.
It's step one. You know, you have wherever you initiate, you have to do it.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
Start.
Yes, start. You know, that's the biggest problem, is get started. Well, if you buy in the right location, then you've made the most sound decision that you can. So I think that's. But don't overthink it where it takes you too long to start, because we've seen prices just are skyrocketing here in Cabo, and we have buyers from all over the world. So there's only limited amount of property to purchase, and you have this abundance of buyers that are coming. And when I got here in 2010, it was 80% American, 10% Mexican national, and 10% Canadian. And I think the fastest growing segment of the market here today, flash forward, is Mexican nationals. So, you know, people that live in Mexico, and oftentimes one of the big cities, Mexico City or Guadalajara, or, you know, they're like everyone in the world, which is the trend is they're moving out of big cities and exchanging that hustle and bustle of city life for, you know, a quality of life, clean air, clean food, a place for your children, and it's safe. So the fastest growing segment, the Mexicans have finally found Cabo.
Cabo is really, really, really amazing.
It's special.
Really
there's a lot of great places in Mexico, and I've had the luxury of traveling to a lot of them. But there's something unique about Cabo. You know, it being in the desert, you know, we don't have a lot of rain. So you're, like you said, you know, there's 360 days of sunlight. So you're not going to get ruined by rain or storms. And you know, the mountains. We have the mountains. We have the ocean. It's just a very unique landscape here.
It's really
and I think
unique.
It's spiritual.
It's
I mean,
spiritual.
I think that I mean, we're.
More.
Yeah, I do believe there's something to where we are in the world.
It's really, really
cosmic and spiritual.
I think that
you feel that?
Because I love living in big cities at this time of my life, because I get invited to events. I like because I'm in a stage of my life that I want that. But when I land in Cabo, it's all about like the little things, the simple things, the very zen. And this year, I moved out to Cabo back. I was living in a big city. And this year here I feel it really spiritual, like connecting with myself, with my thoughts, with my inside. And that is the magic of Cabo, I think, is you really connect with yourself. You don't connect with your artificial things. You really get deep in, grounded. Yeah.
And the Tropic of Cancer runs right through here. Right. So, if you look at a globe and see where all the
Yeah.
places, they are special places in the world, our Tropic of Cancer. So I think that we are a part of something bigger than all of us. And I think that the way the light hits the earth, the colors here are pretty extraordinary.
That is why we have really good light here and
And at night,
sunsets.
we have low ambient light here, so you get to see the stars.
There's
Like in the big
stars.
city, when
No,
was the
either.
last time you saw a full
No.
moon or stars? You don't.
You don't.
Here, the
Just-
full moon's a celebration.
Yeah.
I mean, people celebrate every month
Yes.
and look for a special place to enjoy the full moon. And so, like you said, it's celestial, it's special.
It's really special. And magic. You are coming from Texas, right?
Yes.
I want to talk me about how do you land here in Cabo, because you told me you went in by a truck.
Yes.
Something like that, some fun
Well,
story.
not the first time that I came here. That's how I moved here.
Okay.
But the first time I came to Cabo was in 1988. And it was just a guy's trip. We came down here from Houston. It was a different place back then.
Yeah.
Very, very small population. We came here to fish and golf. And that was my first experience. And I just kept coming back. It does compel you. You know, there is something special about Cabo that makes you want to come back. So, you know, I came back all through my adult life. And when Stephanie and I met, our first trip together as a couple when we started dating was to Cabo.
To Cabo.
And so there's all these things that happen in life that when you look backwards, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was all planned and we just didn't know it. Yeah, in 2007, there was an economic collapse in the U.S. And so it was a perfect opportunity to, you know, think about things a little differently. I was 52, I think, then. And so I was thinking of retiring, and Stephanie and I were just started dating. We weren't married yet. And so I decided that I wanted to live on a beach somewhere. And that was the only criteria. That was my vision. And so I spent 3 years traveling, going to mostly in this hemisphere. I wanted to be a 4-hour flight time from Houston because my parents were still alive and I had things that I had to do there. So I didn't want to get too far away. But I traveled to all over the Caribbean. I thought it was going to be the Bahamas or the Caribbean or I thought it was going to be the other side. And after I visited those, and it's really interesting because traveling for a vacation and looking at it through the lens of I'm going to live there long term are two different things. And so you look at the destination a little differently once you see from that. And so Cabo was it. Cabo was it. And when we decided to move here, that was in 2010. It was October 10th, 2010. So 10, right? We moved to Cabo and we literally drove. We got in a car in Houston. We had a Mercedes SUV at the time. And we drove all the way across the country and down the Baja. It's 2,700 miles from Houston across Texas, which takes 13 hours to get out of Texas. Yes, it's a very big state. It's a very big state. So, but then we went through New Mexico, Arizona, California, and crossed the border at Tijuana, drove down. And I will say, and have you ever driven the Baja?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Well,
with my family.
I would say it was the biggest adventure of my life.
Really?
It was driving down the Baja.
In a good way?
It's the beauty and the landscape just radically changes every few hundred miles. It's different. You know, you have mountains, you have the Pacific Ocean, you have the Sea of Cortez, you have the mountains, you have all of these different landscapes as you drive through. And because there's no other people, as you said earlier, you really get a sense of grounded and connected to the earth.
Yes, you connect with yourself, with the world. Yeah. And wow.
So yes, I was crazy enough to drive here.
No, that's amazing. I love driving all to Baja. It's really a fun fact that friends of me from Mexico City, from Guadalajara, from other parts of the world, they think Cabo is really close to San Diego. They think like, oh, Carlos, you go, they think like it is a 2-hour drive from here. It is 20 hours, 25.
Yeah, it takes 3 days. You know,
Yes.
3 hard days of driving.
It's really a long way from
it's a
here
long
to
way.
there. We are coming to the end, but I really want to ask you about the music because I do music. I'm a musical artist. I do tropical style. I just launched a CD, an album, and I want to ask you, what is your favorite kind of music? Maybe country music, or am I wrong, or what type of music do you like?
I'm gonna have to share with you my playlist because I have probably one of the most diverse.
Diverse?
Yes, country is good. I like Maluma, Bad Bunny, Santana. I mean, and a lot of country. And Tupac is one of my old school rap. So I have a very Andrea Bocelli.
I love Andrea Bocelli.
Yes, I've seen him twice in my life. One at the Hollywood Bowl in LA and once in Houston. But I'm a super fan of his. So yeah, I have a crazy, wild, diverse music mix. So
that is amazing. I think the music is one thing.
Soulful. It has soul.
Yes, it's soul. Especially when we're here in Cabo, sometimes you feel a little too disconnected, or maybe I think music connects you with any sense of you, any moods. And I love that here we have jazz. Here in Cabo we have a lot of jazz presentations, live presentations. I love going and watch the jazz. And I think it's the vibe here, the jazz and the tropical style, the country music. And have you ever been to the art walk?
Oh, many times, yes, of course.
Do you like it?
Yes, of course. I think that's a big thing that people need to do when they come here.
When they come here, it's one of the best things here to do in Cabo. And I want to congratulate you because this is a really beautiful home. Congratulations for your trajectory, for your career, for building this house with your wife and having the opportunity to design in your style. That is a blessing.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of my art. This is my canvas.
It is
and this is my painting.
It is your
this
painting.
house. So
your creation.
My creation.
That is really amazing. And thank you for the advice because as a 25-year-old guy, I really learn from you. Like, okay, so you have to have a path in your life in order to achieve your things.
Absolutely.
And choosing a community is really special and important when finding a house at your new community. Having a plan, do you think is really important? A financial plan?
Yes, I have a very, very specific plan. So and write it down and put a time.
Putting time for that.
And execute it. Idea is just not enough.
That's
You actually have to put it to work.
Having an advisor, do you suggest that?
Well, I think you have a mentor. I think there are people that have gone before you that will help you.
Okay.
I love developing young people and helping
them.
and of course, absolutely. It's you want to share when you get to be my age. I'm 66, so I have a lot less ahead of me than I have behind me. So you want to leave something with someone, and so I'm all about that. I think you'll find a lot of people are the same.
Yes.
So lean on expertise.
Expertise, yes, totally.
You don't have to make all the mistakes yourself.
Okay,
if you're not taking risk and you're failing now and then you're not living.
I hope this video is of your liking and you learn new things from this. One thing that I can learn from this is to have a plan and to make mistakes maybe, but surround yourself with people who mentor you in order to find in the real estate business, right? To buy your first property as a young audience. And congratulations, Michael, for your every success. And you are amazing. I hope I can learn many things from you. And thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Carlos ZATCH and Michael's
Lifestyle in Cabo.
Lifestyle in Cabo. Follow him on all social media. You have a blog, lifestyleincabo.com.
We have everything. We have a website. We have everything. Instagram, Facebook,
YouTube.
We do it all.
All. That's amazing. Don't forget to follow us. We will share some tips and tricks from Cabo. His blog is amazing. Congratulations with that. And see you on the next video. Bye.